forward to this evening. This one sees a man who was one of the standout performers in the first round. In beating Jamie Lewis, Jamie Lewis didn't even get a dart at a double, let alone hit one. It was just an average just shy of 97, and hit nearly half his darts at double. But James Wade, this stage, must hold a special place in his heart. This is where he won a couple of years ago and convinced himself that he could still win professional darts tournaments. So will that help bring the best out of the machine?
Well, there's a lot to be said for that, because he clearly likes playing in this part of the world. He had a run to the semis here last year as well.
First leg, Justin to throw first.
It should be another good weekend for James Wade, but Justin Pipe will have plenty to say about that, and it's Pipe who has the advantage of throwing first as well. Started things off with a 180 yesterday. Can he do likewise here? No, is the answer to that question.
100.
Winner of this will face either the world champion Gary Anderson or Alan Norris in the third round tomorrow.
100.
Wade bossing the head-to-head record as far as these two are concerned. 9-2, I make it. Is that
9-2.
Something you concur with? Yeah.
9-2. So, look, that is a significant psychological advantage, potentially.
Some might say it's, you know, a totally independent event to what's happened before, but there's sometimes a case to be made for looking into that. Their last meeting, by the way, was in the European Tour. I think it was in the Grand Prix in Sindelfingen in 2014. Wade winning that one 6-2.
Yeah, it's strange that they haven't met since then.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Justin has been in and out of, you know, the latter stages of tournaments. He's not been there as regularly as James has. But I suppose maybe it's just a strange freak that they haven't met each other since that point. So, you know, potentially that does diminish any psychological advantage that Wadey might have.
60.
And it was Wade who provided the opposition when Justin Pipe won the Austrian Open final in 2012 for his first European Tour success. Winning that final 6-3.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's got to be a significant game for Justin, you know, when he looks back at the end of his darts career. That's going to be one of the highlights, beating James Wade in the final of a European Tour event.
43,
bagging £20,000. It's the most high-profile tournament that Justin has won. Where's he looking here? Yeah, he was staying on the treble 20. Pretty disgusted with himself for not
88.
Giving himself a dart at a double, but he will return for double 4. Wade a long way back.
Pipe also added to his tally of European Tour successes by reaching the final of the German Darts Championship 2 years ago, but he lost that final 6-5 to Gary Anderson. Pipe here for the opening leg. Double 4 he wants, double 2 for a hold of throw.
Oh, that's no help to him.
6.
Neither is that.
Going to require 98.
Double 1 is not the best double on the board for anyone, especially Justin Pipe with the way his darts land. But he may not get a go at it because Wade's looking at double 19. Oh,
game shot in the first leg. James Wade.
I don't see that taken out
So
much
emphatic.
cleaner
Second
than
leg,
that.
James to throw first.
It was a really clean take.
He's stolen that leg, Wade. I mean, he was best part of 300 points behind at one stage.
100.
And there's a break of throw, so it's not the start that Justin would have been looking for.
$57.
Well, just looking at James Wade's record so far this year, he made the last 8 at the World Championship. He reached the last 4 of the Masters as well at the end of January. Lost to Chizzy
60.
eventually in that one, but since then, not a great deal to write home about. Premier League, he's been involved in that as well.
Oh, he's made it.
100.
Bits and pieces.
A couple of finals, I mean, fair play. I mean, he made the final just the other weekend, lost to Josh Payne. Josh Payne's debut PDC title. He had another one where he lost to Gary Anderson.
100.
Been working with Eric Bristow as James Wade. I'm still slightly fuzzy as to the exact nature of their working relationship. As far as I have asked James about it, and as far as I can tell, it's just that he speaks to Eric after games, and if he was good, Eric goes, yeah, you played well. And
60.
if he was rubbish, Eric just goes, yeah, you were rubbish, be better. Now, James values that honesty, he says. He's concerned that, well, he's not concerned, he just says that I think some players surround themselves with yes men, essentially. Just go on, you were great, you were unlucky there, you were great. You need somebody to tell him that if he wasn't very good, he needs to be better. To be fair, Wade's usually his own sternest critic. I mean, after he lost to Gary Anderson at the World Championship,
85.
he said a pub player could have done better than that, should have just given the darts to somebody in the crowd. He was livid with how he'd performed against the soon-to-be back-to-back double world champion.
100.
Is this work that Bristow invoices James Wade for?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Or is it
We
just
don't. I mean, he could pay him in Guinness for all I know.
Exasperated look on the face of Justin Pipe.
32.
And that's why.
Require 81.
Okay, he's down to a finish of 167. It's a big finish, but Wade here.
Treble 14 for double 10, I'd imagine. Loves double 10, Wade.
41.
Absolutely loves it.
Justin,
Look at it, double top.
67.
Yeah.
Just not going
45.
right for Justin Pipe. He's
40.
put darts in the right sort of areas that he wants, and he's not able to follow them at the minute. That's the
James
second
Wade.
leg for James Wade.
The leg Justin to throw first.
And if you're going to beat
Game on.
the number 4 seed and multiple major champion that is James Wade, then things have to go pretty much according to plan. At the moment, they're not for Justin Pipe.
Much healthier crowd inside the stadium tonight. The
42.
arena, I should say. We're on the fringes of the Victoria Stadium, the official home of the Gibraltar football team.
60.
Big times for the Gibraltar FA. Recently admitted to FIFA. The World Cup beckons.
That's more like it from Justin Pipe.
139. 140.
We talked about Wade being furious following his exit from the World Championship at Christmas. Justin Pipe was more despondent than anything. I mean, he talked about potentially quitting the game.
100.
Personally delighted that he hasn't, but I mean, he was saying, oh, I could quit this game and, you know, I'll go back to running my business. Worked in wood. I believe he was a tree surgeon.
Yes, he was, yeah.
And I could go and earn, you know, really good money
60.
doing that. I don't need this game. You know, I've enjoyed it for a bit, but not having fun. But thankfully, he's gone away and rethought that. Going to give it a go. So he does enjoy winning too much to walk away from it. And with a player who's had the kind of
140.
success that he's had, it must be a very difficult thing to even consider walking away from. Now, he's won 6 PDC titles. He was Player of the Year back in 2012. 3-time major semi-final.
97. Justin, you require 80.
Talented man. He's looking at 80 now, just to get himself going. It's been a better leg, this one, for Justin Pipe. 20 for tops. Just wants this below the double top bed. That's not much use to him, but it's plenty out of the way.
40.
It's a
Injury
bit
call,
unfortunate. 144 would
144.
really hurt for a double break. Not going to happen, so Pipe will come back.
The tree surgeon so far not pulling up any
88.
trees.
Justin, you
Nope.
require 40.
The tree surgeon against the mechanic in this match.
Yeah. That's where he wanted that second dart last visit, really.
Yeah.
Now then, double 5, last dart. This one might have to go.
Oh, it's
I'll
not.
take that.
30.
You see, it's frustrated though.
Injury require
The double top and the double
56.
5, really well thrown darts there, not far away. But Wade looking to punish him. Tops for a 3-0 lead. Can use that one.
36.
Left his favourite double 10,
Justin,
but
you
will he
require
get the
10.
opportunity?
Yeah, oh, that's not good for Justin, that. It's covering a bit of the bed. Can he force it underneath? He can. He
Short in the
can.
third leg.
He
Justin
squeezes
White,
it in
Fred
there.
James to throw
2-1.
first.
He's got a leg on the board. Feeling a little better about things, although Justin's body language at the minute doesn't suggest he's
Totally at ease.
60.
By the way, just before we get into this fourth leg, was it your car that Wade fixed at the World Championship? Or
No,
was that
not my
somebody
car.
else?
I don't own a car. I get the bus. He did fix something
From Birmingham to Ali Pali, you got the bus?
every day.
Oh, right, okay.
134.
And he does love tinkering with his car as well.
$100.
If you sit James Wade down to talk about darts, sometimes it's quite a hard gig trying to get him to sit down and talk about cars. If you mention anything about cars, he'll sit there and talk to you for about
85.
4 hours.
Does his face light up?
It is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was now. Anyway. Back to the hockey. Wade, 2-1 up.
85.
I'm not liking that particular visit either.
Opportunity for pipe here. Looks to be staying up on that treble 20. Yeah.
40.
Justin Pipe wants words with his own darts.
If you could take timeouts in darts, this would be the time perhaps for Pipe to do it.
100.
Well, you can. You just wander on. Mentor does it all the time.
In
Mental-
terms, I mean, in terms of bringing a coach on or a
Oh, I see,
psychologist or something like that to, you know, smooth things over. That's another one of Rod Harrington's potential
81.
initiatives that he would like to see.
156.
Teams of support staff,
Wow.
psychologists and dietitians and fitness managers and all this sort of thing.
100. Justin, you require 161.
Now then. .56 for Wade. Left this last leg and missed it.
40. James, you require 56.
Not as much pressure as there could have been.
No, it threatened briefly. But Wade here, well,
16.
he's just given Pipe
Justin,
a little bit of
Jericho,
encouragement on
121.
1-2-1. We've seen this taken out today.
Treble 17 for Bullseye. Gets the treble. Now Justin Pipe, Bullseye for a level game at 2-2.
96.
That would have hurt. That would have really hurt James Wade.
40.
Wade here,
You short in a fourth leg.
having survived that
James
mini
Wade.
scare, takes out tops and leads 3-1.
Fifth leg, Justin to throw first. Game on.
Well, with Wade, because he is so good at double 10 and is you know, probably the best double 10 hitter that there's ever been.
93.
When he does leave double top, it just must give him so much confidence that he can really attack it. You know, some players might think, well, if I don't just miss high, or then I can use that dart as a guide.
Yeah.
You go straight at it. Doesn't matter if I miss low, 'cause double 10 always
140.
double 10 will be fine.
Well, James Wade is looking to put in an improved performance this weekend, as opposed to the one he produced in Munich, where he reached the second round. He lost 6-4 to Joe Cullen. He was the first high-profile casualty of Cullen's eventual run to the semi-finals that
98.
weekend over the course of Easter. 6-4 the score.
There were plenty of them as well. That weekend.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one. And didn't fare too much better in
140.
Venray either. He went down 6-1 to Benito van der Pas in the third round, having beaten Ryan Harrington in round 2.
You can see from that camera angle there,
40.
it's so hard for Justin to get it into the treble 20. Now, in that position, he was on 310, so he needed a 140 to get down to 170. So he had to keep going for it. But at least appreciate how tough
99.
that was for him to try and...
And again, you could see there it was congested after the second dart, so Wade headed to the 19s.
And again, he wants the 100. There's room over to the right-hand side. And that's lovely, lovely dart from Justin Pipe.
100.
Yeah, well, the ton does get him down to 170. You can see he's a little bit more satisfied with that, but Wade has a chance here. Staying on the treble 18, just moves across. Doesn't get it, so Pipe comes back to the board. Not seeing the 170 this weekend.
54. Justin, you require 170.
Is this the moment? It might be. Needs another. Gets another. Bullseye for Pipe for 3-2 and the first maximum checkout. I tell you what, that's not far away.
You require 68.
A round of applause from the crowd, but that will be small consolation to Justin Pipe because Wade could find himself 4-1 up in a moment, and he takes out double cent. And that is exactly the case now.
Sixth leg,
Hard lines
James
on Justin Pipe.
First. Game on.
Yeah.
And he must be feeling a little bit deflated after that. Needs to just gather himself here, get himself together. Not out of this by any stretch. If he can just
55.
Find a break of throw here, just to get himself back into contention, just to give him something to cling to.
Yeah, well, he's got to win 5 of the next 6 legs against James Wade. It's always going to be difficult, maybe especially difficult against
91.
James Wade on this particular stage where he's had so much success over the last couple of years. Wade's not playing amazingly, he's just getting a job done, but that's what James Wade does. You know, he's averaging
140.
84, James Wade, but Justin Pipe is 1 for 11 on his doubles. And unfortunately, he's not going to win many games with a 9% checkout rate. A little smirk there. Justin Pipe, he figured with those 2 first darts, as long as I just go over the top of those, there's no way that's going to miss the treble 20. Certainly not low.
100.
And that's exactly what happened. Again, he may be thinking exactly the same here. If he just goes over the top of those, there is no way, particularly that second dart, there's no way that's missing the treble 20.
100.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it wasn't over the first 2, but it did find its way into the bed on the other side.
98.
Wade just goes on though and leaves one of those Wadey finishes around
I was going
about
to say,
the
would you
100 mark.
describe this as a typical James Wade performance?
I mean, the Wade,
It's
the
getting there,
James
isn't it?
Wade formula is opponent's average +1 equals James
95.
Wade's
Yeah,
average.
you're
Now,
right.
it's not
108.
quite that in terms of the exact numbers, but it's felt like that sort of a game. Wade has played marginally better than Justin Pipe. And he's looking at tops now for 5-1. You see, he's not been as lethal as
Justin,
you would
you
expect
require
on his finishing,
155.
particularly on double top. Now, what a shot this would be. Well,
He's in for the treble 15 bull.
yeah. I don't
123.
really understand. Why would the bull
40.
be easier or to hit than the
Shot
double
in the
19?
sixth
I
leg.
don't
James
understand
Wade.
that.
Leg
that
Justin
shot,
to
but
throw first. Game on.
it didn't really matter. He missed the treble anyway, and James Wade has gone 5-1 up, and you can see he's so frustrated. It's not the first time that Justin Piper's stuck a dart just above that treble bed. He's done well to sneak one in the bottom corner.
100.
I mean, it's the start of the leg. Just go down for treble 19. Does he have a problem with treble 19? Is that the point? Is that why he didn't go treble
before
19, double 19? Just hates the 19s. He has a hatred of treble 19.
140.
Yeah, but like
Like you
you
have
say,
a hatred for Barbary apes.
I wouldn't.
It's
But when you're
completely
5-1
irrational.
down, yeah, when you're 5-1 down, though, you might as well try all options.
Well, maybe.
I wouldn't say I've got a hatred of Barbary apes, just an
91.
aversion.
An aversion. A passionate.
A strong aversion.
Yeah. Passionate, violence-inducing
The
aversion.
fact I want them to drown, which I suggested earlier,
58.
does imply an element of hatred, I admit.
Nah, that's a great dart. It's exactly where he wants it, Justin Pipe. And he follows it.
Plenty of room for a third in that bed.
140.
Well, that'll do. Gets him down to a finish. He can have another crack at the 170. It might be what he needs just to kick himself into gear here, Justin Pipe.
He'll probably go to the 19s, though.
95. Justin, you require 170.
Well, he went far away last time. Not going to happen this time around. Just set the shot up, Justin. So that is not what he wants.
He's going to struggle to do that here as well, really.
50.
Well, he's onto a Shanghai on the pipe throw. Wade on 208. Might fancy his chances of finishing this off here, James Wade. Not at this particular visit, of course, but of breaking throw for a 6-1 win.
Justin, you require 120.
Well, 120 plays 110. Justin Pipe, potentially to stay in the tournament. That doesn't help. He's going ball here, isn't he? He is going ball, and he's hit the first one. Oh,
95.
Justin.
James, you require 110.
Well,
I suppose that would have been a big irony had he pulled that one off.
Is it ball tops or is it... Oh. Curious. I don't know
50.
what route any of
Justin,
these guys are going for
25.
tonight. There's some strange things happening, but Justin Pipe, 25 is what he's looking at. That's a conventional way of going. 9 for double 8 to get a second leg on the ball. And there it is. Justin Pipe stays alive in this one.
Yeah, by hook or by crook he got there in the end, and it is 5-2, but James Wade throwing first here in the 8th leg.
58.
We've seen some comebacks this weekend already. Kim Hybrex from 4-0 down to Michael Rastovitz, won it 6-4. Robert Thornton came back against John Henderson.
98.
Won it in a deciding leg. Can Justin Pipe pull off a similarly spectacular
96.
come from behind victory?
Benito van der Pass and Stephen Bunting waiting in the wings. It's their turn next.
$125.
Bang in the centre of the bullseye there from Justin Pipe. He's hit it twice in this match. Just hasn't hit it when he's tried to win legs.
96.
96 for Wade, but Pipe has a real opportunity to steal a leg against the throw. And if it did go 5-3, thrown for 5-4, the match has a very different feel to it.
That phrase that Rod uses, scoreboard psychology,
135.
comes into effect, and well, it might well do here. No 180s in this match so far. Might we have one here?
140.
No. Well, he's left 111.
Justin,
That's a
you
real
require
weighty
143.
checkout, that is. And he's going to get a go at it.
$59.
Now,
James
James
Wade,
Wade,
111.
111. So deadly in these checkouts around about the 100 mark. 91 left. Treble 17 for tops. Oh, he's just snuck into the treble 2, so he won't get a dart at it.
Yeah, so...
Look at that, Justin just peering over the
remaining.
shoulder. He's not giving this up, Justin. He's still there
84.
fighting.
He's having a look.
He believes there's a chance here. 84.
Well, there's a big chance here. No doubt about it. Double 12. It's found the bed. Double 12 he wants for a 5-3 deficit. Big moment this in the match, you feel.
Is that a bet? Oh,
60.
my word. I couldn't tell. I didn't know if it snuck in. I'm not
70.
even sure George knew at the time. But James Wade, 70 now. Well, that is... I think he was going for treble 10. Now he only gets a dart at the ball. And he's...
40.
Hit the
I
20. Yeah,
Justin,
so...
you require 24.
The messy
one
visit from-
half-decent dart there from James Wade. The other two were pretty ropey. And Justin Pipe gets another go at double 12 for 5-3 and a breaker throw.
Real optical illusion about the other attempt at double 12. Double 6, though, he wants this time. Double 3.
80.
And you suspect that might well be
Going to
that 10
require
double 10 for
30.
James Wade here. Loves the double 10. Oh, he goes for double 15 instead.
And the match,
Doesn't matter.
James
James
Wade.
Wade takes it out and he secures a 6-2 victory to advance to the third round of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. Gary Anderson or Alan Morris await in the last 16 tomorrow. You suspect James Wade will have to put in a better performance, but as we said, to some extent that was a typical James Wade performance. 86 average, 50% on his checkout.